Weigh anchor and hoist the sail.
Hello, welcome back to Cruising Off Duty. If you've seen this face before, it's because you've been on this channel since the beginning, because Terry, my buddy Terry, is here, and he used to be on the channel a lot in the first, year of the episodes.
Yeah.
Off and
well,
on.
we were just hanging a lot too.
Yeah. Back when I had my boat in the European Sailing Club, Terry and I met there, and we became really, really good friends. I mean, almost crazy, like how much we have in common, right?
Yeah.
And the biggest episode, probably anybody who's into drones saw, was when we did the episode with the Mavic Pro. How far can we fly?
Yeah, that was wild.
I got a lot of views.
Oh yeah, it's a great one.
And in hindsight, probably a bit dangerous because we flew out over the water.
That was dangerous. It's true.
As far as the drone would go until it was almost out of battery and then came back.
Yeah.
And I guess I didn't realize how dangerous. I could have just lost it one of my first flights.
Could have not.
And actually, the first time you and I were on an episode, I was flying my original drone.
Whoa.
This is the Q500. Look at the size of this beast.
That's a beast.
I know. We flew this off the boat, and it's kind of funny because, I'm going on this 10,000 mile voyage from Cape Town, South Africa, all the way to the United States, and that's coming up really, really soon. And the reason we're doing this episode is there's a really good way you're going to be able to track my movements and track my social media inputs as I go, because I won't be able to send full 5 gigabyte videos like I usually do when I'm at home. So I'll only be able to do updates about where I am, some photos, and some written blog stuff. And that's where Terry comes in. He's done a great website for me now, revamped my old website if you saw my old one. And he's done something that almost no other sailing channel has, is he made me an app.
Yep. Major difference.
Google or Android and iOS.
Yep.
Yeah, so some of it's been around for a while, but I've never really showcased it. So this is what this episode's about, mostly because we want you to have an easy way to track me. And you're not going to be able to find me on YouTube because I won't be sending out videos. So there's going to be like, I'm going black for like 8 weeks. So don't think I died out in the ocean somewhere. Just follow me on, it'll be Instagram, Facebook, and most importantly, you can get to all that stuff through the app or through my website.
Yep.
But let's go back to the beginning.
Oh yeah.
With us.
Oh yeah.
Because Terry was an integral part of this whole channel starting. The way it happened was I was into drones. This was my first drone, as I mentioned, and I was flying around the club filming. After we had a big snowstorm, I'd film how everybody's boats holding up with the massive snow dumps, and I was putting it on the European Sailing Club Facebook page.
Yep.
And then when the sailing season came, I started doing a little bit of like, oh, this is what Penny's Point looks like from the air, and people really enjoyed it. But a lot of people were like, you should put that on YouTube. Yeah. Because back then, now I think they've improved. Back then, Facebook kind of pixelated your videos. When it was on Facebook and it was in your feed, you'd click on it and it would be kind of pixelated. Meanwhile, this drone shoots in 4K. Back then, that was
something
cutting
else.
edge.
Oh, it was.
Right?
Yeah.
And I'm filming in 4K, putting it on Facebook, and it looks like 480p. It looked crappy, right? So some people suggested start a YouTube channel and put the videos there and just link it on Facebook. So then I'm like, Terry, Mr. Tech, I knew he was into apps and websites and stuff. I said, I've never done this. How do I start a YouTube channel?
Oh, it's wild because even then, the concept of him having a YouTube video, he was quite uncomfortable with his own voice. So I was like, are you kidding me? I mean, you sound great. The quality of your videos are great. You have to move this forward. And I remember, Joanne was your 11th
12th
follower.
12th follower.
And Joanne, my wife, didn't even have a YouTube or a channel account at all.
Yeah.
And she said, "Okay, Craig, I'll go online."
Yeah.
I'm Craig. Like, "Oh, thank you, Joanne."
Yeah.
And that's what it was like at the very beginning.
Because I didn't expect anything.
Oh no. And it was great because every single video you came out with was just engaging, and the narrative was engaging.
Right,
so,
thanks.
of course, we just kept pushing him, saying, you got to keep going. And then, of course, before you know it, people started telling him, you got to keep going.
Crazy amounts of people watched it, which blew me away. I remember talking to Terry about this, and this is more for anybody who's thinking of starting a YouTube channel of any type. But you'd be surprised how small the world is when you have the internet at your disposal. Yeah. Because when I started the channel, my original thought was, I'm going to film the Ottawa River, which is where I was. Very landlocked, so people around the world aren't going to come sail to our European Sailing Club because nobody can get to us other than, if your boat's trucked in. So I thought, who's going to watch a channel filming the Ottawa River? So I remember telling Terry when I first started the channel, I said, I'm expecting maybe I get 200 subscribers.
I know, he said that. I
200
remember.
subscribers is probably all I could expect, because how many sailors are there on the Ottawa River, right?
Oh, yeah.
So within, I think, a month or so, I had
Crazy.
like 1,000, maybe less, more.
He was so excited. I remember when he reached 1,000 mark and he sent me this text message and he was like, I can't believe it. I got 1,000, you know, and he kept going from there.
Yeah, it blew up. Within a few months, I had 3,000 or 4,000 subscribers. Oh, by the way, I've just passed 20,000 subscribers.
Oh,
I was this morning, knew we were going to talk about this, and I said, I wonder what the
fantastic.
channel's up to now. And I didn't even notice it passed. I'm at 20,030 subscribers.
Wow. Way to go.
But anyways, back when I started the channel, it was just the Ottawa River, and I had 2,000-3,000 subscribers, and I was getting thousands of views on videos about Penny's Point or Constance Bay, and I'm like, I don't get it. Who's watching these videos? And then I went on the analytics and found out there's people from Australia and Ireland and everywhere in the UK, and of course the United States and South America. I mean, places from Brazil, Argentina. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
And that's when Terry said, well, you're engaging. You and Janice are engaging.
Totally.
So people don't care that it's a waterway they're never going to go to.
Nope.
They just want to see a different part of the world and some sailing. So anyway, that's why I wanted to bring that up, because Terry was there. Terry was there when I was trying to figure out the name of the channel. Because my boat was called Off Duty. And everybody said, man, nobody spends more time on their boat than you. And I said, yeah, if I'm off duty, I'm at my boat. And that's why I named the boat that. It was originally called Flashbulb. And I thought, no, wait a second. Everybody says, well, you're a police officer. You're always here, though. I said, yeah, I have days off in the middle of the week. And I'm off duty. I'm at my boat.
That's right.
That's what the name of my boat's got to be, Off Duty, because I didn't like Flashbulb.
Yeah.
So my boat was off duty, and when I was coming up with this YouTube idea, I'm like, Terry, I don't know how to create a YouTube channel. Like, I guess I just go on and find out what names aren't used. So I tried Sailing Off Duty, and it was already taken by somebody who had like one video.
Oh.
And I'm like, oh. But in hindsight, that was a good thing.
That was a good thing.
Because Sailing Off Duty only works for sailing.
Yeah.
What happens if I go out on my motorcycle with some other people and we go cruising across the country and I film it?
Totally.
Still works for cruising off duty.
Yep.
If for whatever reason we can't sail, maybe medical reasons or whatever, we can't go traveling around the world on a sailboat anymore, but we can still travel sort of in North America, maybe we get a motorhome.
Yep.
In which case, we're still cruising off duty.
Cruising off duty.
So in hindsight, somebody already having sailing off duty was a godsend. Because I might have just defaulted to the easiest thing, which is sailing off duty.
Yeah, I'm glad you didn't.
Yeah, and the upside to cruising off duty is YouTube, it was available.
Yeah.
Then the .com was available, cruisingoffduty.com.
That's true.
Instagram, just plain cruising off duty. Twitter,
Yep.
just cruising off duty.
Yep.
Facebook, just cruising. They were all available. I mean, what are the chances of that?
The stars were aligned.
Because most times when you buy, a Twitter, you want Twitter or you want Instagram, there's so many names already taken, already spoken for, that most people end up having to put a number at the end, like cruising off duty 76 or something, because everything else is taken.
Exactly.
So it really worked out well. So my first thing that I did after the YouTube channel was I created all these social media things, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and a web page. Now, I don't know anything about how to create a website. So I just went on the people I bought my domain from, and they had a bunch of those templates.
Yeah.
I just grabbed one called blog. Seemed good.
Yeah.
And I just threw my website up, and all it was really just a scroll of my videos.
That's right.
In chronological order, reverse order, my most recent one, and then down. And that was fine for a while. And then I only knew actually you were an app developer. I don't think I knew you knew how to do website design.
We never really
at
talked
all.
about what I would do much. I mean, we don't talk shop. Craig and I, when we get together, we have a lot more to talk about than shop. Yeah. So, he never asked and I never offered, what I did.
I knew you said you did app design. And you showed me some apps of like some car dealerships and some other people that you'd done apps for. But I mean, as a YouTuber, I'm like, well, that's great, but it doesn't really, never even crossed my mind that I would need one. And then you suggested, why don't you get an app? And I'm like,
oh, absolutely.
You said, I'll make it for you. And I'm like, all right.
Absolutely. It's a huge difference.
And then when I saw it, it blew my mind. And we'll go into it right now.
Yeah.
We'll probably start with the app because the website kind of looks similar.
Yep.
So let's do that now. So we'll pull it up on my iPad because two middle-aged men looking at a little phone over each other's shoulder might be a little close, a little snuggly. So let's do it on my big iPad here. And I'm going to do the screen recording. All right, so this is the app, and it has that logo on the top, that cruising off duty top left corner. That's what the app looks like on the Android and iOS store.
That's right.
So look for cruising off duty. If you're not sure if it's the right one, look for that sailboat crest. That is my logo.
That's right.
And then let's go through it. So the welcome page really just takes us into the main. It's almost like the website.
It is a website.
It's the website. So it's a link to what the website would look like. If you want to know what the website looks like, this is it. It's got about us, latest videos, explore all our videos, our world travels, the gear I use, and because it's a website, it's linking to a website. It shows you how to download the app.
Yep.
And that's it. And connect with us. So all my Facebook, Twitter,
FAQs,
Instagram, and FAQs. He gave me, and I gave him a bunch of questions that everybody always asks me, and I put the answers there. So if you're interested in just generally asked questions, go there. And the last one is support, which is for Patreon and other ways if you want to support the channel.
That's right.
So let's go back to the home page. Okay, so about us is kind of like just a little blog post about us and our history and why we started the channel and what our plans are for the future.
That's right.
To live on a catamaran and travel around the world. And the next one is our latest video. So if you aren't sure, if you've seen the latest video, you can click that button, and the most recent video will be there right now. It's the Toronto Aquarium one.
Which I think was one of the more important features of the app, because all of us will go into YouTube, the app, and when we get there, what happens? You get distracted, right? You see, oh, what? There's
17 other videos show
right?
up.
And before you know it, your main focus was to go to Craig's videos, which is hopefully the thing you will do, but you get distracted along the way. So what this does, and you open your app up because who doesn't have a phone? You open it up, you go to the latest video, and you get the latest video. No distractions from there. So I think that's what the main focus of the app was, to get there as fast as possible without the distractions.
Yeah, and if you see that video and you've already seen it, you know you're up to date.
Yep.
You're caught up.
Yep.
If you're not sure, if it's been a while, let's say it's been a month and you haven't been on my channel in a month, then probably the better button is all our videos.
That gives you everything.
And that gives you everything in reverse chronological order. The Toronto Aquarium, of course, and then back. The Toronto Aquarium is more really about me testing the camera I'm dealing with now, the A7 III and all the different lenses. So that's, if you're not into aquariums, that's fine. If you're interested in camera gear, that's also in there. And it's pretty much there. And also some playlists that are there.
Well, what's nice about that too is unlike the traditional YouTube app, when you get there, you have to navigate to your channel.
Right.
In this case, you're guaranteed to go to your channel.
Yeah.
So the app provides you with that one-stop shop to just what Craig is doing, and that's exactly what this is important about.
And you also send it, or when I put something and you think it's relevant, he's my social media manager now. So when I send out something he thinks it's important, he sends out a notification, and you get that little badge on your front page of your phone or whatever. You'll see a little red 1 or 2 or whatever notifications that you haven't read yet. It'll show you, and that's another way to tweak you that something new's happened.
Yep.
Either a new video or a new blog post or new something. And so while I'm in the middle of the ocean, I'll send him text messages, which is important to let them know. There's an Iridium Go satellite modem on the boat, and I've done a transatlantic passage before, and I learned that's amazing for sending text messages and small files. Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take pictures. I'm going to text, of course, my wife and then Terry and tell them how things are going. And then if I have a photo that's really, really like a breathtaking photo, it takes a long time because it's like the slowest modem ever, but I can upload a photo to Terry, and then Terry can add it, or Janice can add it onto my social media things or onto the app or the website. Definitely. And it'll tell you where we are. Oh, and we'll get to that. You can actually track me live in the app as well. But that's the thing with being in a boat, you can send small stuff. Obviously text messages are small. And photos, not maybe super, super high res photos, but stuff that's good enough for you to see where I am.
Well, it's the old 1200 baud modem approach, right?
Squeaking noise.
There you go.
Exactly. Yeah, pretty much. That's what it's like. It is slow, but it gets you a photo. So it definitely can't send a video, but I can definitely send a photo. Yeah. When I'm on the islands, though, I do plan to try and find Wi-Fi, like a bar or a restaurant. If I am not able to send decent quality photos or a short video, if I find a bar with a good Wi-Fi, I'll fire off every photo I can and any little short videos I can, and then you guys can disseminate it onto social media. So this is the part we were talking about, our travels. So you can see here, there's a map, and what Terry's done is he's put a pin everywhere on the map where we've made a video about it.
That's right. And then of course you can zoom in. So for instance, if I decide, because I like his travels down in the Caribbean, you can zoom straight in, and from there you can actually select the pin, and it'll tell you what the pin is and how far you are from that pin today. And if you select the eye, it'll actually go to the video related to that particular experience. Yeah,
and all those stuff, those 4 pins together.
Hello, this is Craig.
I'm out of this now. All those pins together was when we rented a catamaran.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's chartered a catamaran down in the British Virgin Islands.
And so what we're going to do is track Craig on his upcoming journey the same way. You'll be able to go into the map, you'll see where he plans on being, and when he gets there, if he has a video or photos, we'll attach those to the pin. And so you can select that again and see what Craig is doing while he's in that particular pin.
Yeah, and another thing that I think is going to happen, the boat I'm going on is a 50-foot exquisite catamaran.
Nice.
Very, very nice boat. And I believe the owner is setting up one of those live trackers. And he's going to have a little web page that's going to say, here we are, like live. You'll be able to see a little moving pin, a little line of where we've been. And you can see in real time where we are in the ocean, or whether we're close to an island, in which case we might be able to upload some stuff through Wi-Fi. And that's cool. I know my last passage did the same thing. And they had a website. I was with Paul and Cheryl Shard from Distant Shores, and their big channel, like a network that actually puts their episodes out. So, of course, they wanted to have their followers know where they were live, so they had that set up. So I didn't have an app back then.
Nope.
So I had no way to link to their website, but now Terry's going to do that. So if once that gets done, he'll add a new button onto the app, and it'll be where we are live or something.
That's right.
We'll name it.
And you'll see, so you'll always be able to track Craig, which is going to be my first go-to almost daily, because I really enjoy seeing where Craig is going. So I hope it'll be yours too.
Yeah. And if we stop moving, then there's problems.
It's problems.
There's problems. If the pin never moves,
If it doesn't move, or it's gone.
Send help.
Send help.
Yeah. So Facebook, of course, goes without saying what Facebook is. Brings us right to the Facebook page. This and Instagram is probably where I'll put any photos I can send from the boat. So that's obviously, if you aren't already a Facebook follower, go on Cruising Off Duty. Again, everything's always called Cruising Off Duty, all one word.
Yep.
Gear I use. This is, a lot of people ask stuff like, oh, what camera are you using? What lens do you use? And everything I use is in the gear thing, including the drone. We don't have the Mavic Pro 2 on here.
I don't know.
Okay, we'll have to get that updated.
Yep.
My most recent drone doesn't seem to be listed. Oh, you know what? It might be there anyway. When I click on it, they both might be there. There it is.
Yep.
Because Amazon knows.
Yep.
It puts the most recent stuff. All right, going back to home. Again, frequently asked questions. What's the size and make of your present boat? How long have you been sailing? What equipment is used to make your videos? What type of motorcycle do you have? What was it like to sail across the Atlantic? Now, I'm talking about my last transatlantic.
The last one, that's right. We'll add more later on.
We'll have to add more when I get this new transatlantic done. Just so you know, too, this new transatlantic that I'm going on is 3 times as long as the last one.
That's crazy.
The first one was from Las Palmas, which is a Spanish island kind of near the opening to the Mediterranean. And we sailed across the North Atlantic to St. Lucia. 3,300 nautical miles. Should have taken us about 14 days, but because it was super calm, it took us 22 days.
Yeah, yeah.
And I missed my flight home.
You can't predict the weather.
No, so I didn't book a flight this time, because this time it's 10,000 nautical miles.
That's crazy.
So we're going from South Africa
Way to go.
across to St. Helena, and then up north to Ascension Island, and then 4,000 nautical miles directly from Ascension Island all the way to the Caribbean. Wow. And you might ask why we don't stop in Brazil or any other the South American countries. All of us have jobs to get back to.
Yep.
I'm already taking 6 to 8 weeks off. So yeah, we can't go 3 months because all of us have to get back to work. And B, some of the northern South American countries are pretty radically war-torn, right? Yeah, Venezuela, some of the other places on the north side of South America are pretty messed up. So we don't want to sail anywhere near those countries because we don't want to get pirates taking us down and potentially hurting us. So
that'd be a bad thing.
We're going to skip it.
Yeah, skip it.
Go right to the Caribbean. So I don't know which island right now. I know Grenada is probably the safest southern island, so maybe that's where we'll go. But it's not up to me; it's up to the captain, the guy who owns the boat. So there we go. So that's pretty much it for the app, and the website looks pretty much identical. Oh yeah, let us.
Well, that's chance. Some people ask you questions and things.
Yeah.
Yep.
So there's a let's talk. So there's a spot on here. You click, and then you just fill in your name, email, and ask me whatever you want, and I respond. I get an email.
The real key behind the app. This is one of the things when I was talking to Craig about an app, and he was first of all, I'm not so sure, because you're not going to find too many YouTube channels, if any, that have their own dedicated app, let alone ones in the area that Craig is dealing with. So I suggested to him then that everybody, of course, carries one of these around their back pockets. And although we'd love to be able to go in front of a computer and see a wide version of everything we've gotten going, but it's generally going to be in their phone.
Yeah.
And if I'm standing on line at the bank, or if I'm waiting for a bus, I'm going to pull up a video of what Craig's doing and check it out on the phone, on the app. just don't make me go places. Like,
don't make me work for it.
No, don't make me work for it. And this doesn't make you work for it.
Yeah.
So the app is everything you need in terms of being able to maintain contact with Craig. But also when Craig sends out notifications of where he is, he mentioned earlier about the red dot, you get to see it right away. You're the first in line. You're not waiting. And also he can contact directly everyone who's following him through the app in case there's something very important he wants to communicate right away to you of where he may be today or where he'll be next week that you can't do the same way through YouTube.
Yeah.
So this is another good vehicle of communication for Craig to connect. So that's the benefit of the app. And I know since you've actually had the app started that you see exponentially people downloading the app, which is absolutely fantastic.
Without me advertising it, really.
Nothing.
Other than I usually put a little logo in the front of the videos that says I have an app at Android, but people are like, huh?
Yeah.
Maybe they did look, maybe they don't.
Yeah.
But this episode hopefully will kind of let you know the benefits of it. The other thing too is being notified right away when something news happened on the website, because it might be I'm at an island and I got Wi-Fi and I'm willing to do a little back and forth. I can respond to comments, I can answer questions, I can do that. Only while I'm at the island. I might only be there a day, 2 days.
That's true.
So if you find out right away that there's a new upload of a short video about me being on an island, and I'm, whenever I put a new video, the comments, you always see the comments that are new to the newest video right away. Mm-hmm. Now, if somebody comments to a video from a month, 2 months, 3 months ago, it's a little harder for me to find, a little harder for me to respond. But if I put out an episode or a short clip or whatever, you put a little badge logo on their app saying, hey, there's something new, and then within minutes.
Yeah.
You see it, you comment on it, I probably can respond to it.
Yeah, for sure.
So there you go, benefits.
Yeah. Full life cycle.
Yeah.
But the more important part is, of course, just being able to be mobile. You are mobile, and he's mobile. So the idea of insisting you go to a desktop in order to see him is really archaic.
It's going away. On my analytics, I noticed that when I first started, I guess it's 3 years ago, my channel started, by far, again, I have an older demographic, right?
Yeah,
my demographic is really skewed to the men. I think it's like 96 or 97% men, according to YouTube. I think it's less than that. I think it's more women than are being counted by YouTube, because I just think by default, a lot of channels are set up by the man of the house, but then the woman ends up watching a lot of YouTube, but it's always being credited to a male viewer. Because there's no way I have 97% male viewers, because my comments are often not 97% male. There's enough female, but definitely more than 3 or 4%. Sure. But the other thing is my demographics is more like 35 to 60. It's probably my demographic. Yeah. So because of that, those demographics tend to use computers more. But as time goes along, even those demographics are getting more and more used to using iPads or phones to consume their content. Yep. And I'm noticing as the years go by, 3 years ago it was definitely computer was number one. Now I'm starting to get more iPads or tablets, phones, and even game consoles. Yeah. Game consoles, people with their Xboxes and their PlayStations are able to get on YouTube.
That's true.
And it shows me in my analytics, and that number of people watching by computer is getting smaller and smaller and smaller.
And soon, in the next, could be next couple of months or so, I was letting you know that we'll be able to take your app on the mobile phone and on Android and put it on your Mac. So people will actually be able to download an app on the Mac that will be clickable and brings you right into the same environment.
Awesome.
Yep.
Well, thank you very much. One thing, I don't know if you've noticed how trim Terry looks. If you've ever watched, go back and watch. I'll put a clip in of us years ago. Both of us were heavier, but he's really lost a ton of weight. In fact, this shirt I've got on now, I don't sell them. I give them out to people that are valuable. Some of the bigger patrons have given more money, and people that have helped me. Of course, you're a patron and you've helped me.
I am.
So there we go. I did ask Terry maybe a year and a half ago, whenever I got these. When I first got them, I said, hey, I'd like to give you a t-shirt. I only bought just to give out. And I didn't want to order every single possible size. So I ordered large and medium. Yeah. And I said to Terry, hey, do you want a large shirt? And he said, I don't think I can fit a large shirt.
I wouldn't fit a large. I needed an extra large then.
Look at him now. He weighs less than I do.
Oh, it's crazy.
So there you go. Thank you very much. There's a large shirt.
Actually, it's going to fit. I can tell.
All right, thanks, buddy. Man. All right, that's it for this episode. Hopefully you found it entertaining, enjoyable, and informative. And from Terry and Craig, ciao for now.
Ciao.
wing this. Let's wing this. I'm more nervous with you.
I'm not
than
sure why.
When I'm alone, I'm like, hey, I'll just wing it, and then if it sucks, I'll just stop it and record again.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. This camera doesn't like going.
That was close. That was really close. I was going, okay, it's going too straight. Oh my God, that was close. Because that would have landed in the water. That scared the crap out of me. I'm like, if it hits that wire, it's going in the water. If it hits that wire, it's going in the water.
So it's a lesson learned for the next time.
Oh my goodness, yeah, we're way too close to the wire. Playing up so it's not right in your face. Yep. You got it?
Got it.
Done.
So we came to put a lot of pressure on your husband's good under pressure, and I hope that's not going to be me next.
No, what I didn't like is we took off here, and I'm thinking, we're good, and then I get up there and I'm like, we're not so good.
I forgot about the fact that the wires are there.
Oh my God. That was scary.
We anchor and hoist the sail.